Well, I was the first one in my family to go to any post-secondary education. It was sort of a big deal for our family. But where I think it really set me up for my future was the ability to listen, the ability to really understand other people. And that served me extremely well, especially when we went into business. When we bought our first Tim Hortons back in the early 90s, we purchased an existing location, which was very busy. And so we struggled. And I had the need to hire someone to look after our dining room, for example. And the person who applied for that job was a young man by the name of Clint Spaulding, who had Down syndrome. And up to that point in my life, I didn't have a lot of experience being around people with intellectual disabilities. But I knew one thing, and that is, if he kept knocking on doors, trying to find a job, he would face the same barriers that I faced as a young man growing up. So I gave him a chance. And before long, I recognized that Clint had become my best employee. And so as we grew our business, and we grew fast, we had 5 restaurants within the first 5 years, we added people with different types of intellectual disabilities. And we started to see a pattern. The absenteeism rate was lower. These individuals were more innovative than those who didn't have disability. And over 25 years that we were franchisees in our 14 stores, we employed almost 250 workers with disabilities in real jobs for real pay. Hiring people with disabilities, the biggest untapped labor force in this country or in North America, is actually the solution to our labor shortage. Hundreds of thousands of those individuals have post-secondary educations. So we're talking about people that can take skilled jobs. I've spent 60 years as a deaf person navigating a world which is not designed for me. And I have a deep empathy for the other people in my community. And so I want to see them living a full life. So that's really what drives my passion.
Mark and I were actually already dating at the time when I went to Sheridan College. My education at Sheridan set me up for success. We were owners of our business for 10 years, and it was time for me after 10 years in business to volunteer and get to know my community. And so I've been in Rotary now for 17 years, and I've had an opportunity to be in different leadership positions. Well, I think one of the reasons I was asked to chair this task force was because of the work we did at Tim Hortons, where we had built an inclusive culture. And so all of that knowledge of the inclusive society, the capacity that we built with the over 200 people we hired with disabilities of all types, really helped influence my voice and my leadership on this DEI task force. So, just seeing the success and the strength of the conversations that are happening around the world to advance equity and equitable opportunities to leadership is really the catalyst for us, but also for the DEI task force at Rotary International and the leadership at Rotary International to know we are doing the right thing.